Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We'll be diving straight into our interactive segment, which is the phone-in segment. We'll be on the money. Nigeria operates a multi-party democracy. But for many citizens, that democracy still feels limited, from the dominance of the APC and PDP to the rise and struggles of smaller parties. But one question keeps resurfacing. Is the answer to Nigeria's political challenges more parties or better ones? That is a question. At one point, we had over 90 registered political parties, yet most lacked clear ideology, grassroots presence, or staying power. Still, many Nigerians, especially the youth, are calling for fresh alternatives and voices that truly represent the people. So this morning, we ask, does Nigeria need more political parties to strengthen her democracy, or just better ones? Call us and share your thoughts. Call us on the numbers displayed on your screen. Send us a WhatsApp message so that we can hear your thoughts. And are we lacking a choice or lacking credible leadership with the choices we already have? You know, Memuna, when they say that there were over 90 registered political parties, the question is, with all these political parties, what impact are we seeing in the political scene? What impact are we seeing when they come into government at the end of the day? What are they doing for Nigerians? And then if new political parties are trying to get registered, those political parties, are they up for it? Do they have the right ideology? Do they have the right manifesto? Are they for the people? Are they going to do what they need to do in the interest of Nigerians? What do you think about it?
Well, like I earlier stated while we're having this conversation this morning, I said, having lots of political parties, or rather registering new political parties, is not really the solution to, all of the issues and the crisis we're having in our Nigerian politics. Because I think we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Chijoke. I'm calling from Soka.
All right, good morning, Chijoke. What are your thoughts on new political parties? Do you think they are our saving grace in politics and governance as well?
Well, like I said yesterday, we don't really need new political parties. The problem of the country is not party. I said it clearly. Our politicians lack ideology. There is no political ideology. What we just see is a flirtation of politicians. Stomach infrastructure. They are more concerned about their pockets. So, like you rightly say, we had over 90 political parties. But would we say two are dominant? Because it had been PDP, they said they will rule for God knows how many years. Unfortunately, they were kicked out of office by APC, and APC is not doing any better. And what we see is people migrating from one political party to another. Once they lose grip of governance, they migrate to where the grasses are greener. So the issue is not party, like people are talking about the third force and all that, registration of a new political party, the ADA. I mean, is it going to solve the problem? Is it not still the same politicians? You see Hedioha, you see Rufai, you see Atiku, you see the rest of them. A chip of the old block. We are not seeing new people. We can't keep recycling all these old politicians and expect something better to come out of it, because we can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. So basically, the problem is not about parties. It's not about coming. All they want is power. They want to cling to power because it is difficult for them. Immediately they leave office and they leave power, and they don't have access to our common patrimony, they become uncomfortable. Most of these politicians are jobless people. I mean, if they have something reasonable doing, if you lose, like a political contest, you go back to your business or your job or your whatever. But they know that in politics, that's where you have access to free money and nobody questions you. And we don't have strong institutions to probe or to, like, if people are sent to jail, real jail, not the comfortable jail, they go there and they have access to their wives, their concubines and all that, then people will now know that governance is a serious business. So, for crying out loud, I mean, they should just forget about these registering political parties for registration's sake, and people will just go and be looting our common patrimony we don't have serious people, men of integrity that are really concerned about the welfare of Nigeria and Nigerians. That is the bottom line. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Chijoke, for your contribution. He said we need men and women of Nigeria that are wary and that care about the welfare of Nigerians. And the way he said that making or creating and registering new political parties is like extending the shelf life of expired milk. Moving from one political party to the other, a new political party, slapping on a new face onto, an old body. That in itself is like moving, the bad to worse, as he made point of. But the question still stands: does Nigeria need more political parties to strengthen her democracy, or just better ones? So when we say just better ones, even when a new political party is registered, does it have to consist new people, new blood, new faces, new perspective and new direction, instead of people decamping from one to the other, and then it's like an egg that's split?
That should be the first aim of, having a new political party. We have another caller on the line. Good morning. Thank you for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good morning.
Well, this is Ibrahim. I'm talking from Yola.
All right. Good morning, Ibrahim. What are your thoughts on this?
You see, the political class or the people in Nigeria really don't want changes in this country. The issue is this. Let me give a typical example. In Ghana, why is that there are no more political parties in Ghana? Because it's a law in the constitution that says that when you win election on a platform and you want to defect, you lose that seat. You lose that seat in parliament, you go back to the other party that you joined and can recontest and come back. If that law is not made into this Nigerian constitution, we're just talking and nothing will change. Let's make it a law that if you defect, the day you announce your defection, you leave the parliament. You leave the parliament, you join your new party, INEC conducts election, you go back to the new party, contest and win and come back. But this attitude of what we call it, dancing around parties, it will never bring any change in this country. Let's make a law. To me, the first law is that make it a law that says that if you defect, you lose your seat in parliament. The second law is that let's make independent candidacy another option, so that people now can go, or based on their integrity, be voted into office, into the parliament, make laws that benefit the people. But all these class of politicians are the same class. It's just their names that have changed, but their faces are the same. Since 1999, tell me any new person that you find across all these parties. And it's only through independent candidates that we can even get the youth to go to parliament and change this old class of people. So if these two laws are not considered, let's forget it. We can continue doing 100 political parties. Nothing will change. The old class will still cling on to that power. But if we force them to make those laws, one, if you defect, you lose your seat. Two, we can create independent candidates that people can now go into elections based on their credibility and integrity. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that. You know, Hauwa, we keep asking same question as to if, registering new parties is going to solve all of the crises we're having in our leadership. But then let's also look at, the positive side, the maybes and the what ifs. If you have, a leader who has been in PDP and in APC, and shares different ideology from, other of his colleagues in the same party, and wants to do something better and different, change the narratives, being that, he has guided principles as to how he wants to, put the people first, govern the people, and that person is, getting other people to align with him, same principles, same strategy, want to come up with a new political party to change the narratives. Well, if we look at it at that, at that point and level, it still has a huge impact because, we're having an experienced person, coming from PDP and also APC with all of the experiences that they have had. For me, I feel they would want to do something different. While we're still looking at, maybe, it's not going to change the whole political issues that we're having and leadership and what have you, we can still also look at it, at the positive side as well. What do you think?
Absolutely. Well, it depends on the perspective at the end of the day, and it depends on the will of that person and the impact, the change that they are willing to make. We have a caller on the line. We have Ade from London. Hello, good morning, Ade.
Good morning, beautiful angels. How are you today?
Good morning.
We're doing well, thank you. All right, what are your thoughts on this issue?
Does Nigeria need more political party or just a better one? I think we need a better one. There's nothing wrong in having more political parties. In the UK here, the long-standing party are Conservative Party, Labour Party. So those two, and the Liberal Party. So, but there's one gentleman who formed a party about a year ago or so called Reform Party because of the idea he's bringing to the party. Can you believe that that man now is leading here? Every election is winning. You understand? And it's just Reform Party because of his ideology. So the two old parties, they are afraid of him now. Because the man is making waves. If election is conducted today, that man will win. And this is somebody nobody liked before. But he brought a Reform Party. And because of the idea he's bringing, and the people they are fed up with the old two parties. So he's making waves. So somebody can bring a party in Nigeria, if you have a good idea, and he has the money to sponsor it, because in Nigeria it's very expensive. Here it's not expensive. But in Nigeria, to form a party is not a tea party. It costs a lot of money. But if the person has an idea, has people to back him with that idea, he can defeat the PDP and the APC. You understand? So that is what I believe. We need more parties. If it's cheaper in Nigeria, I will have people come to Nigeria and have my own party. So I will put people like Shetima to be national chairman, maybe Abaseko, national secretary. So, but it's very expensive. You are talking of billions and billions. But here I can wake up tomorrow and say I want to start my party. It's not expensive. So we need more parties in Nigeria, but credible one, better one, and with good ideology that people can buy into, that will touch the problem of the people. What we needed in Nigeria most, the grassroots, the unemployment, the social security welfare. Somebody who will touch that area, who will make it his focal point. That you're out of school, no university, no job. We create a job employment benefit for you in your local government. We make funds available. If those things can happen, you see that people will rush to and vote for such a person. That's what I believe. God bless Nigeria. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, thank you so much, Ade, for your contribution. Ade said if it wasn't expensive to run a political party, he would come back to Nigeria and have the likes of, our other callers be part of that. But then at the end of the day, he was right on the money. It is expensive to run a political party in Nigeria. And I believe it is because of that there's predominance when it comes to political godfatherism. That means you have to have someone or some people around you to help propel you when it comes to the monetary aspect of politics in Nigeria. And then at the end of the day, those influencers could sway your view and impact as well in when it comes to doing what you need to do.
True.
We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Abubakar Usman Jimeta. I'm calling from Yola, Adamawa State.
All right, good morning, Abubakar. What are your thoughts on this topic?
Yes, my thoughts are we don't need more political parties. In fact, even if for nothing, it will even confuse the voters more on the ballot paper. Even now, it's confusing them. So adding more political parties will confuse them. We already have parties. So we need good people, good ideology to come and let us have a better Nigeria, not more political parties. The ballot paper is already, there are already so many parties on the ballot paper. It's confusing us, the voters more. So it's not these political parties that we need now. Good people, good institutions with good ideology, then Nigeria will be better.
I think we lost
All right,
him.
thank you very much, Abubakar, for your contribution. He said we do not need new political parties. But then again, when you look at it, if you look at the way the affairs of a political party is conducted, it is already used to that trajectory. So how do you change the trajectory, the perspective, the principle, and make sure that the political ideology is on the straight and narrow? We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
My name is Al-Amin Ushe from Yawuri, Kebbi State.
All right, thank you for calling us, Alamin. What are your thoughts?
I'm calling you from Yawuri, Kebbi State.
Please kindly go ahead. What are your thoughts on the topic at hand?
So I feel, Nigeria, we need more political parties or just better ones.
Okay, what are your reasons?
Can you please turn down your television set so that we can hear you much clearly?
Okay, I think we have to let him go.
Yes,
please, you can call back, but when you do, kindly turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you clearly. I mean, it's very important. That's the reason why you're calling in the first place.
Absolutely. Well, there are lots of, there are divided opinions when it comes to this. Others are saying we do not need new political parties because the ones that we have enough. We have to remember that according to the INEC chairman, we have 19 registered functioning political parties that are here in Nigeria. And then others are saying we need new political parties, new ideology, new principles, fresh faces, new perspective so that have Nigeria's
interest.
Thank you very much.
Even the last caller, even the last caller, stated that having new political parties will cause a lot of confusions because when you go during voting on the
ballot paper,
ballot papers. Because I remembered in 2023 it was a struggle for Labour Party. They kept educating the people
and
about
how to identify their political party.
So it's really confusing because we have, I think 3 dominant political parties, the PDP, the APC, and then the Labour Party.
But then let's hear from our caller. Yeah. Hello, good morning. I believe we lost the caller. Please do well to call back so that we can hear your thoughts and call us on this issue. All right, we have another caller. Call us, make sure you call us on the numbers displayed on your screen so that we can hear your thoughts. We have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Alfred, calling from Bagudu, Ebonyi State.
All right, thank you for calling. What are your thoughts on this issue?
What I want to say is that having more political parties is not the solution to Nigeria. What we need is good people. Even itself, I will suggest let them reduce the number of political parties that already existing. But what we need is good people that will come out and let the people follow them, so that when they won election, they will look into the affairs of human beings and not this thing that is happening now. Creating more political parties is not the solution. Rather, to reduce the political party and let the good people come in. That's my own contribution.
All right, thank you for your contribution, even though it wasn't quite audible. But then at the end of the day, even if we do, branch out and have new political parties, how do we make sure that those people that are deserving are the ones in play and contribute to Nigeria as they should?
Sure.
All right, we will be going to our WhatsApp messages for today. For the first WhatsApp message, we have Daniel from Makurdi. He says, good morning. There ought to be clauses in our constitution on political parties, ironclad clauses that specify specifically on the number of political parties that should be registered and exist, and should have clear-cut manifesto that is binding on them totally. And also on the issue of decamping, it should be spelt out that there should be no decamping, or if allowed, the politicians should surrender everything, including their elected seats and benefits, and go on sabbatical to rebuild afresh for 5 years from ward level before coming out to contest on new political party. If this issue of decamping is not addressed once and for all, our politicians will continue to make a mess of political process and leave the electorate in a dilemma.
Okay, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am calling from Okare Local Government, Taraba State.
Please, what's your name?
My name is Matai Sojabako.
Thank you so much, Matthias, for calling. So please kindly share your thoughts on the topic at hand. What are your thoughts?
Yes, I just want to say we don't need any political parties anymore.
Okay, why do you think we don't need to, have more new political parties? What are your reasons?
Because even the political parties we have them at hand now, we are still struggling with them. Okay, now, if we have the political party more now, who are the good citizens that will be the flag bearer of the political party?
All right. So you're saying there is nobody that is capable of stepping up and making sure that they do the needful.
If the Nigerians are not serious about the citizens of their country, that is why we don't need any political party. Look at it now.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to other WhatsApp messages that we have. Memuna.
Okay, we have a message from Nandin Bete Ogoja. He's sending in his message from Ogoja Cross River State, and he said on the issue of political parties in Nigeria, when a new political party is being formed, be rest assured that a group of people are coming together to seek access to our common yamban. And when they succeed, they plunder the place with reckless abandon for their benefits without consideration for the rest of us. Until we'll have independent candidature enshrined in our electoral laws, we will keep needing new political parties until we have one that can give us good governance. Thank you so much, Nandi Bete, for sharing your thoughts.
Yes.
He's saying that until we get, a good one, we should, continue, registering a new. I mean, the numbers are really going to be
it's
much.
just like searching for a needle in a haystack. But then one day we'll get there.
Of course.
Next WhatsApp message we have is from Usman Santaraki from Jimita Yola in Adamawa State. He said, good morning. His take is, yes, Nigeria needs more political parties to compete in the political space. Seeing what the ruling APC is doing, wooing all the opposition political leaders into their party, it is good to have more parties. Well, that is another take, having more political parties so that others can have a chance, to showcase their abilities and, making sure that they can do the needful. All right, I believe we have another WhatsApp message. This is quite a long one. This is from Ibrahim Egwa from Lafia. He says the current political landscape leaves us with no choice but to consider forming a new political party. The existing parties have been compromised by agents of the ruling party, rendering them ineffective. For instance, a key ally of the president in the PDP has publicly declared his intention to work towards the president's re-election and has even managed to sway the party's powerful secretary to his side. Similarly, Labour is plagued by factionalism, while the SDP faces its own internal challenges. Rather than dismissing the idea of new parties as mere recycling of old politicians, critics should consider joining the fray themselves. This would allow for fresh faces to emerge and bring about meaningful change. The formation of new parties is particularly crucial given the APC's efforts to block any strong opposition to the president by creating new platforms. We can foster a more inclusive and competitive political environment that truly represents the interests of the people. That is a hot take as well from Ibrahim Egwa in Lafia. Well, that is another point of view. Him saying that other political parties have been dominated by those that have been seen as the recycled, and a new political party will give a fresh platform, a fresh, face, fresh ideas, fresh outlook into what they can do for Nigeria.
Okay. We have another message from Frank, and he's sending in his message from Enugu. He says, good morning, Trust TV. Number of political parties is our problem. The National Assembly should strengthen our institutions so that people can be accountable to the people. I guess he wanted to say to the people that they govern, or the people they want to govern. Okay, thank you so much, Frank, for sending in your message from Enugu. I mean, it's just we all have a different perspective concerning the whole registration of a new political party. It is fine to still want to register a new political party, but then even if you say, oh, you don't want to register new political parties, how do we reform the old ones that we have? How do we clean up that political party space where we have leaders that are not accountable, leaders that don't put the people first, and what have you, Hauwa?
Absolutely. All right. That would be all for our interactive segment. Thank you for all your contributions. Your opinion and your thoughts do matter.